Well, hello, Marcus Lim here, and in this video I'll be taking you through the process of setting up the FB Webinar WordPress plugin. So the first thing you have to do is to install it, and I've already done that. And you just come over here after you've installed. On the left of your WordPress installation, find FB Webinar, click, and that takes you here to this plugin dashboard. And the first thing you have to do is to activate the plugin. So I'll just quickly do that with my username and my password. And once you've deactivated, when you go to the dashboard again, you can now create your new webinar page. Now I've already created one in the past, so here it is. And so I'm just gonna use this existing one and show you the settings that I've used. So fan gate image, I'll turn this off, but you can turn this on if you want the person to like the page tab first before they can see the contents of the page, but I'm gonna just turn it off. The background color, you can have a choice of different colors. I'm just gonna use plain white. Background image, no texture, but there's a choice of different background images that you can use right out of the box. So main copy, pre-headline of the page, I'm just gonna go for this month's free webinar, SEO tips for local clients for my headline. Presenter name, you can put in whoever it is who's presenting. The time, date of the webinar, and also the description of what the webinar is going to be about. The opt-in headline, so what will appear above the opt-in form, so something like sign up. Before they enter in their name, enter in your full name, enter in your email address. Opt-in button copy, usually it's something like submit. Spam notice, company name and in the footer, and a sort of a notice in the footer as well. For the presenter photo image, recommended size 200 by 215. Now I'll just show you this one that I've uploaded. So this is 200 by 215 pixels. So once they've opted in successfully, here's the message that you want them to see. Now for the GoToMeeting integration, so this integrates with GoToMeeting. So let me show you what this key is. So this is actually another webinar by somebody else, and when I'm asked to register, I'm sent this link which looks something like this. At the end there's a 9-digit number, and this number is actually the key that you need. So for example, in this case, this is the number which I will copy and paste here. Now obviously this particular webinar is now over, but that's the idea. Once you get your webinar registration link, just copy the last 9 digits of the link, and that will be your key. So this is 9 digits, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a unique 9-digit number that identifies that particular webinar. Now the Facebook share settings. Okay, so this is where you need to go to. Okay, let me head on to developers.facebook.com. So this is the one, developers.facebook.com, and you just come to the top and then apps, and then create a new app. And I've already done it in my case. I've called it Try Webinar. So some of the settings you need to set, you need to have your contact email, and then you will need to add platform, and you need to add website and page tab. I've already done them. So over on the website, you just have to specify the site URL, and this will be the domain where you've installed your WordPress FP Webinar plugin. And for the page tab URL, you just have to go to your plugin dashboard settings, and this is the one over at the very top. This is what you need to copy and paste here. And also for the secure page tag URL, you need to replace HTTP with HTTPS. And this brings about an important point, which is that your domain where you've installed your WordPress plugin, it needs to be secured with a SSL certificate in order for HTTPS to work. So that's something you need to keep in mind. And if you want to know how to go about doing that, just refer to my video where I take you through setting up your SSL certificate step by step, and you'll be up and running in no time. So let's get back to this. The final thing you have to do is, under status and review, make sure that this is set to yes. So make it public. So now that that's all done, you can come back to your plugin settings, and then you can just copy the app ID and your app secret, copy and paste them here. And then for these other ones, share this. Now this share URL, I'll come back later. And the only other thing that you need to do is you need to have your autoresponder code, and this works best with Aweber, although if you use another autoresponder it should work fine as well. But in my case, let me show you how I go about getting the code. So in my Aweber, I set up a web form, and I will simply say I'll install my form, raw HTML version, and then I'll uncheck the form styles. So this is just the raw form code that I need to paste into here. Do make sure that the post URL is HTTPS and not HTTP. That's very important. Otherwise, the opt-in will not actually work. So after you've done all that, you just click on Update Campaign Settings. So now that it's all saved, you can go ahead and add app to fan page. So click on this button, the app ID, which is this one, and the app domain. So just fill in the domain name where your WordPress plugin is installed, and then you just choose a page where you want to install the tab. Click Add Page tab, and that's done. So you can now close this. And now if you go back to your Facebook profile and go to the page where you've set up the tab, so in my case this is the one, and here it is, try webinar. Now that should take me to the webinar page that I've just set up. So it looks pretty good. So you've got your pre-headline, your headline, presenter, date, description, and the photo of the presenter. And the first thing to do is to opt in to the webinar. So let me do that. Click submit. Thank you for opting in to the webinar. So that's pretty much it. if I do share this, before I do this, let me do something that I haven't done, which is to come back to this tab and grab the link. So this is the link that I need to copy and paste in my share URL. Okay, and I'll update campaign settings. Alright, now come back to this. So let me do that again. Try web. So let me click share. Say something about this. This is a cool webinar. Share. And if I come back to my profile, if someone sees this and clicks on it, that will take them back here to the webinar page, which is pretty cool. So the last thing that the second last thing that I want to show you is that the opt-in was successful. So let's just do subscribers added today. So here it is. That's my email. So the opt-in was successful. And if the webinar is active, then they'll also be opted into the GoToMeeting webinar as well. Now the other thing that is quite a little bit of a bonus, I should say, is that this doesn't just work with Facebook. You can also display this as a standalone page if you just simply grab this URL and just view it directly. So you can see that it actually works by itself and doesn't necessarily need to be in a Facebook fan page tab. But I would recommend that you might want to do a bit of a redirect, because the URL doesn't really look very nice. But in any case, this is it for the setup for the plugin. It's just a very simple WordPress plugin tool for opting people in to your webinar and also getting them into your autoresponder at the same time.